right, this video is going to be completely chopped up, all kinds of messed up. We're going to try to throw you all the content. Literally, it's been me, Daniel, Brandy, and Tabitha catching as many photos as possible and videos. So we'll go back and do a fresh, better edit about the whole Sema experience. But today is setup day. We have finally gotten in the booth. Everything went well. The Blazer is not taking a drive like that. Daniel was driving the Blazer, I was driving this truck, and everything went pretty darn good.
Yeah, everything on the Blazer probably hadn't made a trip like that in almost 40 years. So we went all the way out to the desert and did a bunch of photo shoots, and then we felt like 40 minutes down the freeway, 75 miles an hour the whole way. And got here, got set up, got staged up, got to get them cleaned up. And the desert shoot before the show was a little backwards, but that's all good. They'll get them detailed up and we'll be ready for the week.
All right, pause it real quick. All right, so in the Mickey Thompson booth, front and center, introducing the 2025 Silverado 10 Series, Big 10, Mickey Thompson logo across the windshield, and the triple stripe that matches the three-wheeler perfectly. I believe we will be the only people in Sema with a three-wheeler. I guarantee there's not another vehicle here that doesn't have something that 20 other trucks have, maybe more. Wheels, tires, lug nuts, accessories, everything is so common. There's thousands of trucks here. I feel like we defied everything by bringing something that just happened to match from 1982/1983. The color scheme's dead on. The whole thing about this was relaunching this tire from the 80s. It's got an 80s ATC in the back, Kawasaki KLT 250 in the back of this 2025 truck. Just like a total remake. And then flash back to the whole reason we're here is when I teased them with this Blazer 1 year ago. This Blazer has been in hiding. This Blazer has been covered. This Blazer's been moved at nighttime so that it would not be seen prior to its debut. And they wanted the old school look. And there's nothing that brings back old school look. That's filthy. It is absolutely filthy. It's getting ready to get detailed. Brian and Daniel took the time, even though the truck didn't necessarily have to have it, to chrome plate and do what?
The crossover steering and track bar kit. So we wanted to make it look like it had been on there for the almost 40 years this truck has been built. So we did our steering kit and track bar kit to make the truck drive properly. And went ahead and had it chrome to match. I mean, everything's chrome. The leaf springs, the axles, shackles, everything on the motor, drive shafts. Everything underneath the truck other than the frame is chrome or gold plated. So the relaunch of the tire on a truck that had the tire when the tire was current is pretty cool to debut both back at the same time. So it old school, new school, both of them with old school.
Oh, there's the kill switch in the front, so not in the back.
I'm just looking for the kill switch for the battery so I can show you. We also debuted our power steps on a 76 chassis, which oddly enough, even though this K5 looks the same other than the front ends from the early 70s all the way to 91, this is a 76 with a 91 front clip. It does have floorboard differences, so our 81 to 91 kit had to be modified. Now we have the kit for the 76 to the 79. So that was one more thing that we did last minute to get it ready for the show.
So I'm going to show you all a little clip that shows what this tire means to us, what this wheel means to us. Pan around real quick behind and the tire up on the stand. We'll take you through this booth this week a little more in depth. I don't want to bore you with that today, but we're going to catch Blake, we're going to catch Ben, Joe as well at some point, and they're going to tell you all the background of what happened around here, how this came to being, and cool history about Mickey Thompson, the racing, the legend. It's going to be a fun week. So we got a lot to bring y'all. Apologize for this stuff being really splattered up. I'm going to put in this one clip of this video with us driving and then go revert back to us changing the tires, changing the wheels, doing everything we did this morning with a full official crew It takes 5 people to put one little, it's gonna be probably a 30-second commercial out of all of it. So guys, please, when you get a chance, appreciate what we try to do, getting this raw footage to you guys as early as possible with as little editing as possible, because you guys are why we're doing this. You guys are why we're here. Mickey Thompson, listen. Thanks a lot. All right, we're officially headed to the Sema show. We didn't really know what to expect today. We've been filming all day from 8 o'clock sharp on, changing tires and wheels, doing photo shoots, unveiling the tire. Again, a lot of this stuff, guys, is going to be mixed up, crunched together. We've been doing the best we can. They have some official edited video that will be going all over the place. But anyway, we just went to the desert after bolting the tires and wheels on. We're cruising down the highway right now. Speedometer is a little off on this truck, obviously. We're probably running about 60 miles an hour. The tires are super smooth. Could not ask for a tire that just came out of the mold weeks ago to be so perfect. And a radial, and no noise, as you can hear. The slightest little hum that you would hear from a BF Goodrich mud terrain. But what a cool release of this tire. Got Daniel in front of us in the Blazer, which we have not even done a debut video on, but you guys have been spoiled with it now. That truck is over the top as far as square body go. That truck will stay in our personal collection with Brown Bear, the 10-door, and Grimace forever. And it's also a good one the family can still jump in. But cruising down the highway with that truck that we have hidden for a year. Literally nobody saw this truck. We transported it at night. We kept it covered even in the buildings when it was in there. Nobody has snuck a pic or anything of that particular truck, and it is over the top. It's over $200,000 in chrome and gold plating on that truck. So you guys are going to be blown away. Not to mention the candy paint, not to mention the fitment on the Baja. The coolest part about that truck is it was on a perfect 25-year-old or more set of Mickey Thompson Bajas with the original 1514 Alcoas. We really kind of hoped that we would debut it on those tires and show how similar they were. They killed it with this combination. And a little of the backstory. Tabitha's video and currently, and she doesn't even know so much of the backstory. She didn't even know Mickey Thompson was deceased. Him and his wife were actually murdered in their driveway. But the big backstory with us on these Mickey Thompsons is I watched these tires get debuted in the magazines. There was no internet. I would beg our mom to take us to get a magazine so that I could look at it and look at the ads and look at the cover trucks. And back then, every cover truck ended up on a set of Baja Mickeys. And I worked beside my uncles, my dad. I'd look at that magazine. It just was drilled in my brain that one day, I'm talking about before I could even drive, I'd have a truck that ran Mickey Thompson tires. Well, one of our adult family friends made a statement one time when I was looking at that magazine. He said, boy, he said, that's a good looking tire in that magazine, but that's as close as you'll probably ever get to them is looking at them in that magazine, because they were pretty expensive for the time. And I guess, you know, my brain, he didn't realize I was going to work that whole summer. I was going to work every night I could. I was going to do chores at home. I was going to save every dime I could, because my vision in my head was to have a set of these tires on my dream truck when I could drive. Well, it wasn't when I could drive. It was probably when I was 18. I bought a set that were bald. I'm talking about war slam out. I brought them home. My dad said, did you pay for those tires? I said, yeah. And I was stoked. And he took all my dream away. He said, now you had to pay to dispose of them because they're not worth anything. I rode them. They rode terrible because they were bald, obviously. But I did use the tires. Wasn't long after that, I had saved up enough to almost buy a new set. And what now has been a long-term customer of ours posted a set in the trading post. Never driven on. I had enough money to go buy them. Actually, I think I was $200 short. I don't remember, did we negotiate? Did I borrow $100 or $200 from my brother? Because Brian went with me. Daniel was too young. He was about 10 years old. When I brought these tires home, he was 8 to 10 years old. We have a picture of him in that tire. I wish I had it to insert here, but we have not found it. But in my parents' kitchen, Daniel was small enough, he was inside of this tire. I brought them all inside. We didn't have an outside garage. I was so proud of these tires. And then I was able, drop a picture in right here, to bolt them on with one of my best friends. this was actually the second or third set. It wasn't that original set. But we would go to Nag's Head, the OBX. Those tires would drive on the beach like it was nothing. But I still remember, like it was yesterday, not being able to afford these tires. Now, we have helped for the last 15 years, weekly, monthly, phone call, conference call, video chats between the team at Mickey Thompson Tire and Wheel to bring this tire back. They also saw you guys. They saw your comments. If you Google anything about Mickey Thompson, Davis is going to come up, whether it be Davis Auto Sales, Davis Off-Road, whatever it is, because we were the last to have this tire. We had a mold run made of, I don't know how many, but it was a lot. We obligated for something that I could barely afford to pay for through the business back then. It took inventory off the car lot for this tractor trailer load after tractor trailer load of these tires to come in. Right about the same time as we had bought out the Weld overstock when Weld closed. So many cool things happened. Brian remembering on Christmas Eve, being late to Christmas Eve dinner because he had to unload a tractor trailer with my dad of these tires. It was just so many things that are drilled in our brain. And this right here has got to be, not just for us, we're excited, but for the truck world, this is the largest bring back product I think ever. I don't know of anybody. Think of them bringing back the Dodge sports cars. They're similar, but they're not the same. Think of them bringing back the K5 Blazer. My mom has one. It's nowhere near like the K5 that's in front of us. Nobody brings something back iconic like they have. This tire is a spitting image of what I laid on my garage floor and the dirt outside my driveway and worked on tirelessly on my truck, looking at this tire and wheel combination, and they killed it. And not only did they come out with a tire, they came out with the wheel. You just don't get corporate companies to do that. This company is $1 billion company. They're huge. They could care less. Most could care less. They cared. They cared enough to listen. They cared enough to dedicate a team to it. That team is here at Sema. I'm going to introduce all you guys to them one by one, piece by piece, and what they did to put into it and what we did. I like y'all to see it from both sides because there has been a lot of effort. There's been a lot of time. Unfortunately, Brian wasn't here. Brian rode on Mickey Thompson's for years on his truck too. Somebody had to hold the fort down at the shop, but he's going to be stoked when he sees these because he remembers like it was yesterday, bringing that first set home, mounting them on the truck, and having a cover photo tire. Back then, that was the iconic thing. So it's very surreal. It's very exciting having the whole team here, which we've been tirelessly working with. You guys stop by the booth, stop by, see the Mickey Thompson guys, see the trucks with the tires on them, and tell them thank you. They did not have to do this, but they did it for us, the consumer, the ones that were born and bred wrapped around this tire. Thanks a lot for the support. Thanks for always commenting. Please comment in this video because we're going to drop the sizes tomorrow officially. You guys have seen some teasers out there. They've not allowed us to tease it yet, but there is way more sizes to come, way more sizes of wheels, your old school build or new school build. We're driving on 2025 with 369 miles that I special ordered less than a month ago with a set of Baja Belteds. That would have never, Baja Belteds 2. The 2 is the important part. The radial. Again, we're cruising nice and smooth, nice and straight. You just can't beat it. You can't make this stuff up. Life does not go this way anymore. It is amazing, and we are very proud to be part of it. All right, so me and Solomon are literally about to rock, paper, scissors for who's going to be the first to see the tire in person, because they have truly kept that part a secret from us. We've seen prototype type stuff. We've seen some picture overlays. We've seen a few things, but the wheel was cool enough. How long we had that? A week and a half? Yeah, 2 weeks?
About a week and a half to 2 weeks.
So
probably can't pick me up, but
yeah, it will. It's pretty good. So we've had the wheel for a little bit of time, but what was going to wrap around it was the part we didn't have. And he had to actually take one of our old school tires to use as a test mock-up to build his truck. And Mickey had that using it as a prototype to build this tire. So it's kind of wild how that circulated around.
It is really cool.
But you saw that on a 12.
And
Now it's going to be on a
I
16.
had to put a 3-inch spacer, dude. I can't wait to see it because yesterday all the other guys, not us, went there and looked at them. They keep telling me they're like, so we got pretty soon. I start to warm it up. I don't know exact. Are we gonna do 1, 2, 3 go? Or
1, 2, 3 go.
3?
1, 2, 3 go.
1, 2, 3 go.
Yeah.
Okay. See, we got to figure these things out.
Yeah.
But,
My mind is not as sharp as yours, so you can get ahead of me a little. Don't cheat there. But we're gonna unveil the video of the Blazer later today. You guys saw the teaser of this truck yesterday. Obviously, some of this will be repetitive because we're doing our best to capture all, but we are at the Goodyear facility, Carroll Shelby facility, and they have on the other side of this truck 4 sets of these tires and
you
wheels.
can probably go there with the camera and see it before us. They let everybody else see it. So if you want to give them a sneak preview, you can probably walk on over there. But we are not allowed to see it. So do you guys want to see it?
Yeah, we're gonna make y'all wait because I can tell you I've waited 20 years, so we're gonna make y'all wait. Yeah, so we literally had to take a set off of the Blazer. So I mean, like, we have been touching, feeling that tire in the last couple of weeks to put on these. But the reason for that is Mickey Thompson wanted to say, look, we want y'all to have what you can buy, and some people like that. And like, this truck kills it. Like that tire and wheel works.
I actually love it.
On
think
that truck.
The beadlock was one of the colors, like yellow, orange, or red. Oh man.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But did you look in the back? Look at the wheels on the 3 wheel. I mean, that 3 wheel is OE.
Oh man.
So it matches.
Yeah,
like, that is 1982/83 production factory Kawasaki. So when building the theme of this truck, we wanted the 80s theme. That's when this tire came out. It just came together. Of course, the stripes ran red, orange, yellow instead of yellow, orange, red. But Daniel did that part, so that's where that got screwed up. So yeah. We always have to do everything backwards as heck. But Daniel will have a full story about the build of this truck. We sourced a short bid on purpose. Mickey Thompson said we want a new school truck, stocky, short. They don't make anything else. So finding this truck was a big freaking deal. Finding it in the color we wanted was even a bigger deal. And then getting things powder coated and done at the last second was crazy. But
you guys had fun with your front suspension.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave that part out until they come by the booth and Daniel has a good stern talk with them, because some of that was unnecessary problems to have at the last minute. But it wouldn't be Sema if it wasn't for some last minute problems. And we got Rob's truck over there and then Solomon's truck over here. And you planned on driving your truck at first.
Originally, I was going to drive it, and the build just took so much longer. I had no test miles. Like literally driving it from here. You didn't go with us yesterday, but from here to where we did the photo shoot was the first time I drove the truck.
Right.
And, I still had the jitters, and by the time I came back, I was like, hell yeah, rolling coal, having fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was a big undertaking. I followed it on your channel, and that was a lot to do in a short period of time. A monumental task. So
it worked out. One of those things that my dad would always say is that you bite off more than you can chew, and then you chew like hell.
that's right. Yeah. That's an understatement for this. That's why we don't usually do this event or shows in general. So it is. And one thing I have to thank is our other halves, because we all have families at home. I know you do too. And it's a big commitment to go to these events. That's why we don't travel. We don't go to things, unfortunately. Raymond will take some trucks sometimes and go, but it's a lot. Like, we're completely across the country as well as you are. And we're going to be here for a week. And we spent countless late nights and early mornings getting these things ready. Daniel, mind-numbingly getting everything ready of what's going to work, what's not going to work, because you only got one chance. Like, you got to get here, and this is the biggest event. Like, you can't have things undone. And for us, that's why, Daniel's had multiple trucks come here in the past that they've built, but to bring trucks in, to show, it's like you got to be on time. Like, everything's got to be perfect. So we're getting ready to rock, paper, scissors.
Sounds like the lights are here.
Yep, I think the lights are here. You guys make sure to check out his build on Ford Era. Give him a like, subscribe, his social media. Your strong point is what, Instagram?
Instagram,
Okay,
YouTube,
okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Ford Era on both.
Yep, and TikTok too.
Yep.
So make sure to find him on there. Great guy. We actually did a transaction before we met in person, and I bought that Gen 2 Bronco that you guys like so much, and that's coming along. I don't know if I told you, we got the interior done and a few other things, retro radio in it, redid the carburetor. It's coming along pretty cool. So another truck with Mickey Thompson's on it. So this is going to be an exciting day. Yeah, it's a lot. My transport guy wants this rig here in the background too.
This
so
would be the coolest thing. Imagine pulling up to a show with that.
Well, we wanted to go in close, but we were afraid width-wise. But we probably could have done it. Now thinking about it, and he crossed a lot of bad weather, which we were scared to death on that truck after days of polishing. But I think we're gonna be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. All right, vote for me to win this rock paper scissors because I want you guys to see his tire first.
Should we do a sound check first? We got meters from both of them.
Hello, test.
Hello, everybody. This is where JW doesn't get to see the Bajas first.
Yeah. I saw him before you were born, so. Yeah. This is just a second go around. See if you're lucky twice.
Yeah, but can you remember him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's foggy, but, you know, it's still there.
Are you guys ready?
We are recording anytime, guys.
All right.
All right.
Well,
ready?
Let's do this.
1, 2, 3.
Victorious.
All right.
Hey, you got to go.
Yeah, we'll go over there. We'll go over there.
Exit stage left. And here we go. Action.
Cool. So JW, Daniel, and Blake, JW, Daniel, thank you guys so much for bringing the rigs out to Sema show. Got
Happy
the K5 here looking absolutely gorgeous. The brand new Silverado here. It's going to be showcasing some innovation that we've got with this great new product. JW, I've been hounding you, probably calling you for the last 15 years, just asking you for feedback on the market and stuff. We always want to know what's going on out there, and you've been a great partner to us for years. So.
Well, seeing this and what I hope it looks like is just bringing back 20 years or more, and I've been harping on you, everybody involved, between tires and wheels. Like, it's a real thing. There's a real customer, there's a real following, and it's drilled in my brain. And Daniel's 10 years younger than me. And the cool thing is we've got pictures of the very first set I could afford with him in the tire.
Sitting in it.
As a kid. So, this goes back so far deep, but that's not just with me. It's with so many of y'all's clients. And it's just something that you can't put a price tag on. You can't put words to it. The innovation of what y'all have done to make it today, 2025 form, is really what's exciting, because it was great back then, but what I hope it looks like and hope it rides like is there's no words to explain it.
Yeah, we've come out with a bunch of pretty awesome products for the niche markets. The Boss X, the Pro X, the XS, all these different products. And my 19 years with the company, I mean, this one right here, I am probably the most stoked about, and I'm really excited for you and Daniel to see this for the first time.
We're speechless about it, and it's just surreal that it has come this far, because we have been having conversations for over a decade about, could it happen?
Yes, we have.
Will it happen? And then when Blake jumped in, about the wheel, it was about having both.
That's what makes it, man.
Having the tire, having the wheel, having the combo that is going to bring back what all of us remember. There was not a show truck that did not grace the cover of a magazine that didn't have a Mickey, Mickey wide, that look, that footprint, that photo that they always would capture, that just stood in everybody's brain,
Sure.
Not to mention when it rolled down the beach or the sand, leaving that footprint.
Yeah.
But again, it was built to be a dirt tire, and the man that innovated it, just capitalized the market so hard and so heavy. And like I said, it's just, for people my age group, and then the new age group, it's like this skip of generations that can fellowship in what we had for looks and function. It's not just all about just rolling on a show truck. It's so much deeper than that. It brings back just a whole iconic look.
Absolutely. Well, Daniel, JW, you guys ready?
It's Christmas morning, right?
Yeah, baby.
That's right.
It is like Christmas morning, isn't it?
Like the present you always wanted.
Look at that. And white letter.
Yeah, baby.
And white letter.
Absolutely.
Baja belted too.
first thought is it's got that iconic look. Y'all really hit the nail on the head coming back with that look that everybody wanted without changing too many features, which I'm sure y'all changed quite a few things to make them updated, but that overall double wide Mickey look that everybody knows, like JW was talking about with the dual T's down the center, that's amazing. Everything
so it even has,
perfect.
you know, I always call it the halfway wear bar. What is the significance of that? There's got to be something.
Yeah, so these elements, they take such long jogs in them that these are basically, they kind of couple the elements together. They are about half depth, about half tread depth. So if you are using these things for off-road competition and stuff like that, you've still got this, you've got a ton of great depth here for blasting through the sand and different soft terrain off-road. But, you know, a lot of people are going to be using these things on road too.
Sure.
And one of the things, you know, with the pattern, you know, Daniel, you talked about the tread pattern looking very similar to the original.
Yes.
That was one of the directions to the engineers on this thing, was maintain so much of this original look, but let's throw every simulator we have at this thing, every piece of technology to make this thing as refined as it can be on the road, still perform off-road when needed, but make it quieter, longer lasting, and ride nicer. And you know, not to jump ahead, but if you guys notice, this is a radial construction on this one too. It's still got belts in it, but 10 of the 14 sides are going to be radial, so that's going to be a big contributor to that premium on-road experience. You guys put a lot of work into your different steering and suspension components that you guys put out there, and this should help with that.
Well, the belted name had to stick with it. That'll probably confuse a few people,
Sure.
But that was it. I mean, belteds and bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the combination. And I mean, you know, we've talked, I mean, every day, sometimes for during the week and weeks long. And, you know, we didn't see it, but we envisioned it, you know, and we knew enough. But, you know, and we come from an area where we drive a few hours and we go to the beach.
Yeah.
You know, we still have drive on beaches, you know, in North Carolina. And this tire, when we first switched to it from the other competitors that were out there, you could drive with no air down, you know, I mean, so it's really still a good flotation tire, good sand tire, good desert tire.
And a lot more friendly on the road compared to a lot of other sizes in the same similar range.
So we'll know later today what it does as far as noise and ride, but it's incredible. Like most things that get remade don't look close. Like you don't have a Chevrolet Blazer that looks like a Chevrolet Blazer. When they bring something back, it never matches. But this is, I mean, it's as spot on as it could be.
It is.
It is.
So that's one of the things we're trying to do.
1 second, I'm sorry. Don't move your feet. Stay where you are. Ben, when you start up this time, kind of roll your right shoulder towards the camera some more when you start talking this time. We're getting a lot of the back of you. Yeah. And try to point with your left hand so that you keep your face towards the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. You're starting to rotate more and more with your back to the camera.
Got it.
So you guys know where you are? You're going to pick it up from there?
Yep. So, you know, talking about the different applications.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That's a burnout. Hold on.
Perfect time to stop. Yeah. Action.
So the rigs you guys brought here to the SEMA show, I mean, you very representative of the different applications that could be running this new product. We got this beautiful K5 here that could run the 15s, 16s, and even.
Let's do that again. You spun all the way over your back.
Yep.
Turn this way to point out that truck behind you if you need to.
This way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, that's gonna
Let's start that up.
Yeah.
So you get your back slightly towards us and go ahead.
So the different rigs that you guys brought here to the show, the K5 and the 25 Silverado 1500 are really truly representative of the range of vehicles that are going to be running this thing, right? We've got the 15s and the 16s that would be great for the old school trucks.
Well,
and
that's
for this, got the 17s and beyond as well.
So much of what we talked about in conversation, and as well as Blake, was these guys are still out there. These guys are bringing these rigs back out 20 years later. Like they literally put them dormant in their garage, ran them then. Now they're 20 plus years old. They're dry rotted, they're old. They want them again, but they can't drive their truck. So it's going to bring so many rigs out that were just tucked away back to the surface again because they've been waiting on this.
Stop. The Air Force is grounded here. Bless America. Show force, baby. Let's do that last point over again.
All right.
From the beginning.
What are they doing?
Wow.
They're sitting on top, hovering.
That's probably a national anthem, NHRA.
Unless
Oh,
they
they're
might be a
flying.
Are they going to land in here?
Like 30 feet up off the building, they come see.
want me to get into the size, like the individual sizes?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should.
I'll let you tee it up.
Yeah, I will.
Y'all want to go into the wheel in the same video, or we're going to do another one?
No, this is critical. Like, you guys keep going.
Okay.
Segue when you feel like you're going to off-ramp to a tire, okay?
What if we talk about so for the old school trucks, the 15s and the 16s, I could talk about the 33s, 36s, 39s, and then Blake, I know you got some wheels in the 15s and 16s as well, MT Canyons, Classic 3s, and then we jump into for the newer trucks, we got the 17s. Blake, what do we got? You know, kind of like that, like a back and forth.
Just bridge it where, just look at me when you're ready.
It's a conversation.
And they're gonna clip it. They're gonna clip it all.
Yep. And I'll just touch base on the importance of backspacing and things like that, you know, for brakes.
Yeah. That Blake was constantly communicating on wants and needs and the measurements.
And the step barrel to be able to be a face mount versus a reverse mount.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah. Step barrel for a face mount's a big ordeal.
Where the hell we were?
That's all right.
Wow, that's incredible. And let's just give it another 30 here.
Here comes another one.
Is it really?
Yeah, they do this every like 13 minutes or something like that. Some weird number. F-15s and Raptors chasing
Old school trucks, modern vehicles, you know, showcasing some of the innovation with the Belted 2 and the MT Classic 4s.
And that's what we talked about with both of y'all in depth was the 15-inch stuff's gone. Like not everything or hardly anything can run a 15. You still want those guys as a customer base. But nowadays it's going to be more 17, 18, 20-inch stuff. So obviously having this old school look, but being able to put it on your newer vehicle was just critical to fitment because the guy might have this and he might have that also, you know. And our biggest thing was for a company like yourselves to work so closely with somebody like us, the installer, the WD, you know, again, somebody that did not have the option to even order it back in the day. I did, you know, I could pick up the magazine, there was no internet, and I could find this tire. But by the time Daniel came along in his generation, it was no more getting it, you know, unless you found it used or whatever. So to bring back something that can continue on and go on somebody's newer truck, but it doesn't have to be a monster. Like we were asked to build some monsters for this thing. But the beauty part is y'all both have something that's going to work for the everyday person, whether it be their Jeep or their Ford F-150 or whatever have you, y'all will have some other options for them. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. So starting with the old school stuff, right? Like the K5, we're going to have the 15s and 16s. In those rim diameters, we're going to have 33, 15, 50, as well as 17, 36. It'll both be approved for 12-inch wide and 14-inch wide wheels. As you guys know, we have the MT Classic 4s and the Classic 3 in the 12 wide for the Classic 3 polished and the MT Canyon. Then we move up to was it 39, 1850 for 15s and 16s as well. All 6 of those sizes, the 33, 15, 50s, the 17, 36s, and the 18, 539s, those are all 6 radials for those old school trucks. So, and then the big innovation, of course, is with the 17s, right? You go to try to find you guys know this super well. You want to go find a 17 for your late model rig or your classic rig with aftermarket or old school or newer axles on it. There's not a lot of wheels for 17s beyond 9.5 inches wide. That's where Blake comes in with these 17 14s, 17 16s, and even his 17 12s in the MT Canyon and the Classic 3 that we just announced. So 33 15 50, 17 36, 18 539, and then 20 44 for 17-inch rims.
That's going to be huge. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of trucks that one step bigger that don't have that option. You know, they've only had the other brands, you know, available. So fitting in that niche market is going to be huge for those guys too. And what about that one big wheel?
Yep. Yeah. So there's a consumer for that too, right? And there's a lot of people that are building these really nice extreme show trucks. You know, we're at Sema, you're going to see all kinds of them, right? Well, a lot of those folks, they want to stand out from the other people that are building trucks like that. So for the folks that want to run a 20 by 14, we're going to have the 18.539/20. And then the 20/44/20. Folks that want to jump up to the 26s and 26 by 16s, we're going to have the 18.539/26. And then for the folks that want to run some 30s, we're going to have the 44.19/30 that's going to be available. So, you know, Some folks are going to like the bigger rim stuff. Some folks are going to like the smaller rim stuff. And we try to kind of give something to everybody. But in every one of those cases, the tire's going to have great flotation, a nice wide footprint, and certainly a look that's going to stand out.
And there are guys that still use it. Like, it's not just a looks thing. You know, there are guys not far from us, like I said, 2 or 3 hours, beach areas. They want to drive their work truck monster with a ladder rack across the sand.
Sure.
Those other tires don't do it like
dig.
this will. They dig down. They're looking for the bottom. This sits up on top.
Yeah, that's great. And it's great that y'all are going to have everything across the board on wheels and tires, small to big, show to go. It's going to fit everybody's need, which is something that you don't see a company do very often. One, answer the call for a specialty piece like this that, of course, we love, we use every day, but to hit the small wheels, the big wheels, the shorter tires, the taller tires, the call for the width of everybody just wants that super wide bulldog stances, which is what these were known for, whether it's been a show truck or a play truck, and to hit it so close to home. For what I remember when I was growing up, JW buying a new set of these, you know, like he said, I didn't have the availability. If I wanted a set of these, I had to buy some 15 or 20-year-old specimens from somebody that were good enough. I never had the availability to buy this tire brand new, and I wish I did. Now I can. So to be able to be brought up through this lifestyle and see this come and go and then come back and be such a close representation, I'm overly excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah, fellas, I'm glad you're digging it.
Well, so the one thing that really Blake hit on the head, of course, they worked together on this.
Yes.
But when this tire came out the first time, 12s were really your option.
That was the big wide wheel.
You could get some 14s, but it was tough. Like, most guys were on 12s.
Right.
The first set I got came off a show truck. Never driven, but I could afford to buy these. They'd been on a 16.
Right.
It was unheard of, you know, a special made set of wheels. So when I brought them home, they were already that little bit extra stretched out. So to bring the wheel width that this tire really needed. Like, when I put it on 14s, it did not ever look the same.
Sure.
Never.
Yeah.
Just looking at this tire, you can see how smooth the sidewall looks instead of sucked in. It makes the tire nice and flat right here. So not that it wouldn't be cool on a 14 or a 12, because some people are into that. That's how far it's going to hang out of your truck. But by making that wheel with the proper offset, which took a lot of fitment, Daniel did a lot of fitment on the trucks for several different applications to make sure the backspacing was going to be right. And y'all can talk about, I mean, the mounting, the face. I mean, it's just that 16, though, to me, was over the top part. That was the part that's just, not only did y'all create a cool tire, but you create a wheel to make something that could bolt on. Like, back in the day, we didn't even have a tire machine in our shop. Right. We bought everything mounted, balanced to our door. Sure. And if it didn't look right, it didn't look right. Like, this is the look. Like, this got it.
And there's a lot of things like the step lip versus the smooth barrel is a face mount tire versus almost every wheel out there now is a reverse mount where you got to flip the wheel upside down. Not everybody has a machine that'll go wide enough to clamp the wheel on the outside, and who wants to flip their wheel down and clamp it with sharp clamps on the inside of the wheel? That's what you'd have to do if you don't have the capability on the machine. So being able to mount this face side up makes it a lot easier for that average install shop that doesn't have a big specialty machine. And with the fitment, with Blake and Ben on the 17s, you would think, okay, this K5 came with a 15-inch wheel, so anything bigger is going to be fine. That's not the case. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, if you put a 16-inch or a 17-inch wheel on a solid axle truck, believe it or not, it actually didn't fit as good as the 15 because you got into tie rod clearance issues and things where the wheel didn't use to circumference, and now you're putting that wheel in that area. And like I said, in your head, it had 15s. I can put 16s, 17s, 18s, 20s. That's not the case. So a lot of backspace and fitment and just really the size of the actual barrel opening makes a big difference as far as clearance, to where you don't have to buy a brand new set of tires and wheels, go home and, oh, it doesn't work. I got to grind on something to make it work and everything. All that time spent to produce a wheel that fit a tire, you know, both in one package is something you don't see any other company doing. You know, they got a tire, it's your problem to figure out the wheel. They got a wheel, it's your problem to figure out the tire. Now, just like JW said, if you wanted to, you could have order these mounted and balanced, shipped to your door. You go out in your driveway, throw a jack underneath the truck, bolt them right on. You don't have to worry about clearance issues or fitment issues or anything like that because the homework was done beforehand.
Daniel, you are speaking right to my heart.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
As, you know,
so many conversations you would not believe, and they
so
listen.
many. Yep.
I mean, so many, like, you know, just quick, can you call me for 1 second?
Yep.
you know, can you check this? Can we overnight you something? Like, you don't have manufacturers that do that. Like, we deal with every manufacturer. You know, we roll out 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks a day through our shop, and more than that through the dealership. And there's not a manufacturer that you deal with that even gives a crap. Like, not only to produce one item, but to produce 2. And you know, that's a moving part. It's an integral part of the vehicle. And you know, just little 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch there. Anybody can just wing it and say, oh, well, you just buy a set of spacers or whatever. But the time that was put in this wheel, and the Canyon, you know, we can't knock that either. But both those wheels had just tons of background, you know, and that's why we've been having conversations for 15 years about this. Like, it didn't start yesterday.
No.
It went way back.
Well, there's a place for everything, right? So if you think about 12 wide 17s and rolling into these new 14 wide, 16 wide applications, the idea is you can't have one without the other, right? This wheel was designed to enhance the stance, to make sure the tire wheel combo is right where it needs to be. Daniel, this is no mystery to you.
Sure.
There's a lot of responsibility when you think about buying the right product for your build.
That's right.
There's safety, factors. There's making sure that you're testing to the standards and the expectations.
Sure.
As a father of 3 and others that have children, that are building these cars, these beautiful trucks. You need to make sure that you are working with an organization that's taking care of their people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was my responsibility. We were tied, Betty and I, making sure that everything that we were doing was to support the people using these products.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And it turned out great. It really did.
We'll pause it for that noise.
Yeah, we're just rolling with it now.
Okay.
I mean, let's stop for a second. Everybody roll again?
Yep.
Speed.
Let's go.
And action.
Just to take it a step further on the wheel pieces, sorry for the background noise, right? We're among the drag strip in the local Air Force Base here in Las Vegas.
Sure.
But, the idea was we wanted to make sure that we were testing our wheels to the J spec, and of course the Department of Transportation's maximum expectations. Right?
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
is minimum at Mickey
Sure.
Thompson tires and wheels.
And we know all about that.
Yep. So the idea was be sure to qualify what you're putting on your vehicle. That's the big picture here. These are a lot of rotating mass here. These trucks are putting up a lot of stress. Ball joints are screaming. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things.
Sure.
Right. So make sure you're checking with your local Department of Transportation and the jurisdiction to make sure that you're doing the right things. Well, let's get back to the wheel specs, right? The Builder Series that we could consider this MT Classic Forged is really about going wider. So while we have 15s, 16s, 17s, and future 20s and maybe larger diameter wheels, the focus with the forged product specifically, the MT Classic Forged, is 14 and 16 wide. 3.5 inch backspace, extreme, right? Aircraft grade aluminum. That's the 6061 with the T6 heat treatment. We want to make sure that we're building a more superior, heavier load rated type product, right? Because again, we're dealing with a lot of rotating mass here. So expect to see more from us. But gosh, guys, what do you think? I just want to get your opinion overall about the look of the wheel. That's a forged cap, and I want you to take a look real close there.
Absolutely.
Make sure you catch all the features of this product. Check it out.
Well, the coolest thing, and you told me, was the signature. You're like, there's a little signature there.
Yeah.
A little signature touch, I think is what you said. And I was like, oh, well, he's done something somewhere,
Yeah.
but did not know it was a physical Mickey Thompson signature, which is, to some people, who cares? But that's a cool little touch, and it had to be engraved in the wheel. So, but the caps, we talked a lot about the caps, and I was like, all these specs and things, what do they really matter? They do matter. They're huge. But the cap, he's been working on the cap for I don't know how long, long enough, but that little touch is huge. Like, it's the finishing point. It's not just some little plastic crap. It's a real deal.
Right.
And the modular part of this wheel. The cool part is that everything lines up so nicely. The 8 lug looks a little different, the wheels that Solomon has and others, the size of the holes are a little bit different. That has to match with the lug pattern.
That's
and
right.
Then the shadow, the reflection, it's all got to look right. And that's a whole lot of, obviously, 3D and other things to make that come out.
Well, the key there, right, was we wanted to capture that classic wheel.
Yeah.
That's the exact word that I think of when I look at that is classic, and that's what y'all were after.
Well, and the wheels that were on this Blazer were the original Mickey Thompson Alcoas that looked like they came out of the box yesterday, but they came out of a box 35 years ago or more. It was wrapped with a set of these tires that were also 30 years old. And This right here, though, it's bigger diameter, but not by much. That's only 1 inch of circumference from a 15 to a 17. So it's not like you're going big wheel. Like, nobody's going to look at that and think it's bling bling. It's error correct. You know, it's proper.
Absolutely is.
Yep. With all the right fitments for newer vehicles and obviously olders as well.
Yeah, we never left, right?
Yeah,
We're here and we're continuing to carry that that legacy forward. So.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you guys working so hard, along with, you know, keeping us involved and making this happen.
That's the part that, like I said, it's a huge company. They're not just in their backyard in a shed, but to listen and come through and produce this kind of product is unheard of. You know,
we appreciate you guys taking the calls at, like you were saying, JW, that, hey,
all,
you got 2 seconds, Dave?
all hours.
On, you know, Saturday at 4 a.m., you know, in the morning? No, not really.
You don't know what it's going to lead to. Like, you know, you just don't know. This could have never become a thing, but with enough people paying attention, enough people behind the scenes willing to work, you know, Blake's second generation on this, you know, I mean, so many people behind the scenes pushing for it, and to come out with something, like I said, it's just going to, in my opinion, it devastates the market. Like, nobody has done this. This has got to be one of the biggest things to be released at SEMA. And all the guys that have been drooling for it never thought it would happen. They really did.
They didn't think they were being listened to.
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting week.
It is.
Absolutely.
Well, you and us both,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
We have a lot of people back in Ohio that are looking to us to carry the torch, and here we are. So
Absolutely.
Thank you
You've done
guys
it.
for being the best part of that.
Thank
Done
you
it.
for answering the call.
Absolutely.
We'll throw them on the trucks, guys.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, guys, that's the end of day one at SEMA. Just getting set up, getting ready to get the trucks cleaned. We're going to cut it today so I can get this thing edited and live. You are going to see days worth of content, miles worth of content. There are trucks, there are cars, sport utilities, Toyotas, hot rods, burnout wars right over there. There are several thousand vehicles here, and it takes a lot to make it into this event. And sorry for the background noise. We have misplaced the microphones. We have misplaced the other phones, the GoPros. They're in one of the vehicles, but in the mad dash and scramble today, a lot of stuff just got everywhere. But you guys are gonna see some of the most incredible stuff, and we're gonna do our best to bring it, get it posted as quickly as possible. And you guys be sure to share it, like, and comment. We do really, really appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see 500,000 before we leave here. Last couple of days it has been booming. We do it because we appreciate you guys. We do it because we love you guys, and that is what keeps us thriving. But there's so much to bring you. I don't want to spoil it, so tomorrow bright and early we'll be hitting some lives and some video. Thanks, guys.